You may have heard that ADHD and autism is linked with hypermobility. Well, this week I discovered that I am actually hypermobile, and so are both of my daughters. This was quite shocking to me because after going so long without a diagnosis, I was only diagnosed last year with ADHD at the age of 40. I'm still on the waiting list for an autism assessment. It's when these pieces come together, it feels like, why didn't I realise this all along? I am going to be talking a bit more about hypermobility, and I'll be showing you some of the signs that you may be hypermobile too. In no way is this is no medical diagnosis. I am not diagnosed with hypermobility. I just know that I've got it because I've worked it out this week. And even if, I wouldn't want to seek a separate diagnosis for it anyway, because it's not causing me any problems. But it was just more to talk about it. I'd love to know your experience with hypermobility. If you experience it yourself, if you could comment below how it affects your life and when did you notice it. So first of all, last week I was talking to a friend and we were talking about her experience with hypermobility with her children, and I started asking more questions about it. I found it really interesting because, again, I had heard the association between hypermobility and ADHD and autism. And we were talking about it, and she was showing me some of the things that they ask to determine whether a person may be hypermobile. And one of the things she showed me was this, which I've always been able to do and just assumed that it's a normal thing to be able to do. Well, apparently that is a sign of hypermobility, being able to push your thumb down to your forearm. So that is one sign of hypermobility. Another sign is if you go like this and if you can lift your little finger to a 90-degree angle while keeping the other straight, that's another sign. And apparently when this is getting scored, I've forgotten the name of the test, something beginning with a B. When it's getting scored, you get like a point for each side that you can do it on. So for example, I would get a point for that side, a point for that side, and then for both of those. Some other signs of it are being able to lock your knees backwards. When I say lock, not in an uncomfortable way. When I stand up straight, my knees automatically go backwards, so they kind of extend further backwards than a normal standing position. And that's always been my normal go-to. Being able to stand up straight and touch the floor with flat hands, that is another sign of hypermobility. It is quite often associated with, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and that can also include things like having like really stretchy skin. I don't think I've got particularly stretchy skin, but one thing that I did read was that can also cause things like frequent urination, which is something I do experience. In a study I read, it said that those neurodivergent people are 4 times more likely to have hypermobility than the general population. And in studies that were done on both neurotypical and neurodivergent people, there was a much higher percentage of neurodivergent people who were hypermobile as well. I would love to know, I've still been learning about this week, so I've been like researching and I'm still learning more about it. But if you experience hypermobility, I would love to hear your perspective on it. And have you been diagnosed with ADHD or autism, or both, or another neurodivergency? And how does it affect your life? Does it cause you any problems, or is it just one of those things like a cool party trick where you can bend a joint in the wrong direction? But I'd love to know what your opinions are on this. But also, I think it's interesting to be able to talk about these things that are commonly associated with ADHD and autism. And As far as I know, we don't know why. I think people are still looking into that at the moment as to why there is that association. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Bye.